To our guest speaker this evening. So I'm really excited to welcome to the stage for us Chris Warnky. Chris is a ninja, an author, an executive and life coach, and thought-provoking speaker through his business, Well Done Life. He has coached clients, helping them move ahead with many of life and business's most important topics, including goals, dreams, business results, communication, relationships, health, finances, career decisions, life pace, spiritual life, and many others. It's making me tired just thinking of all the things this guy's done. So Chris competed on the NBC TV show The American Ninja Warrior in 2017. This guy right here, isn't that awesome? Woo! Yeah. I'm gonna hijack this for just a second. Am I gonna embarrass you to death? Okay, this is my nephew Noah. Go ahead and stand up, Noah. He competed in 2019 on American Ninja Warrior Jr. So Chris has authored 6 Ninja Warrior books with his Heart of Ninja series books. He shares about his experience, ninja tips, and 12 traits of a ninja, and tips from other ninjas. The books are available on Amazon, and he has some samples in the back for you to look at as well. Chris has coached people from across the U.S., across the world, including California, Florida, New York, Peru, Barbados, Australia, and Hong Kong, well-traveled. And he is a certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. And he served 2 years on the John Maxwell team's President's Advisory Council. He served 2 terms as the president of the International Coach Federation Columbus chapter. He has a Toastmasters International Competent Communicator designation and has spoken to groups of over 750 people. He has spoken at Chase, the Defense Supply Service Center, at Worthington Chamber of Commerce, the Heartland Group, and Regional Toastmasters Conference, and the John Maxwell Team Live event. So Chris has over 3 decades of corporate leadership experience, 23 at Bank One and JP Morgan Chase, and he served as a compensation manager, project manager, and program manager. So, without further ado, Chris's presentation today is called You Got This.
Thank you so much, and incidentally, after reading all that, is that guy somewhere here in the building? I'm actually a retired guy these days, so what I do part-time, because I really, truly want to be retired. I also wanted to, real quickly, mention, with this water conversation that we just had, I'm about 2.5 years in now that I have an accountability partner, and we have a target that we try to get to together every day. Sometimes I don't quite hit the number, so she drinks a little bit more than I do to get us to our number. So it is a really good thing for your health. And if you do it with somebody else or a couple of other people, and you keep tabs daily, it's that extra level of encouragement. It can be really, really powerful. And we'll have cases where it's like, oh, I'm really short because I'll get an update that she's at 32, and it's like, I'm at 12, it's like I better go fill up. So it is a really great thing for your health, and it is a fantastic thing to do with someone else. Well, it is great to be here. Thank you so much. And it's cold outside. I'm glad this wasn't held outside today, and I'm guessing that you feel the same way. I want to take you back to 2017. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. It's early May. The temperature is about 40 degrees, a little over 40 maybe. Before the end of the night, it's going to dip into the high 30s. I'm wearing a t-shirt and some shorts. And I do have socks and shoes on, okay? And I'm standing in the pavement at about 10 o'clock at night. And I look up ahead of me, and I see friend Brenda O'Hara. She's laying flat on the 3rd step, and there's no movement. It's like, whoa, what's going on? So I'm doing everything I can to stay warm, trying to move and everything, trying to not freeze myself, and I ended up jogging over to the fence, about 20 feet to my left, and there's a line of friends and ninjas over there. They give me all kinds of high fives and hugs, and I got a whole bunch of, you got this, it's all yours, you got this, you can do this. Feels a little good. I like the hugs because it was cold, so I jogged back over to where I was supposed to be, my holding place. And I see the medical staff actually helping lift Brenda off of the third step and onto a stretcher. This is just too cold, so I jogged back over to my fence and got a couple more hugs, a couple more, you got this! You got this! It's all yours. You can do this. I jogged back over trying to stay warm, and finally, the producers said, you're up, go. And I was like, okay, so I started jogging forward up to the platform. About 5 years in now that I don't take single steps, I skip steps all the time, so I skipped my steps all the way up to the platform. And I'm standing on the platform of American Ninja Warrior with all of these lights shining from every angle, cameras on these big booms zooming in and out. To my left, the stands with hundreds of friends and family and people that I don't know that are just fans of American Ninja Warrior. And I, as a 60-year-old, am going to get to compete on American Ninja Warrior. So, I've done this for my daughter and so many other ninjas. So I let them know I was excited that they were there and that I was here, so I let out a little, wow! This is cool, baby! So I'm yelling to the fans to the left, and they're all into it and all excited. And then I come back over and I'm getting ready to look, and I see that there's these steps. There's 5 steps. They ascend up, and they have angles. And the angles get more severe the further you get. There's a little 5-foot or so gap between these steps. And down below the steps, unlike at our gym, is a pool of water. And I don't know how they do it, but they have lights that shine up through the water into your face. So it's kind of like just sitting there going, I'm ready for you, I'm ready for you. So I looked at the steps and I said to myself, okay, I've done about 12 ninja competitions this past year in local gyms. One of the rules with American Ninja Warrior is that you never get on a course before you compete. It's one of the things that's very distinct in contrast to so many other sports. So I said to myself, okay, you've got this because you have actually done this 12 times. It's simply another course that you have not yet been on. So while I'm busy processing this and I have all of these lights, incidentally, there's like 6 million people, 6.5 million that watch American Ninja Warrior. So depending upon how bad I do or how good I do, I could have 6 million of my closest friends celebrating my crazy fall or my fantastic finish. So I'm processing all of this. It's like, this is really happening. At 60 years old. And while I was busy processing this, this guy called his producer, says, go. Well, I don't hear him. And then there's another go. I'm kind of having fun. I'm looking at my friends. It's like, we're doing this, we're doing this. Finally, the third time, go! I heard that one. So I ended up, and I practiced on steps in our gym in Ohio a bunch, so I jumped to the first step, got that one pretty well, swung my arms, landed on the second one, swung my arms, got to the third one, the one that Brenda had landed on. She had dislocated a shoulder. I found out after the fact. But, and then I had 2 more to go, so and they started getting, like they felt like they were further apart. I'm guessing they weren't, but the angle was crazy. Sorry about my range there. So I jumped to the 4th one and stuck it, didn't slide off, and I was like, I got 1 more to go, then I got a rope, and then I got to get on the platform. Whew. So I turn, and I swing my arms, and I launch, and I stuck it initially, and I stayed. So I got it. And this version, the year we were there, they had years where there's flat steps. Well, this is the one that's got the rounded top, so there's really nothing to grab onto. But I got there. And I'm still not done with the obstacle. There's a rope in front of me that I now have to jump to and grab and hold on to, and then a platform another 6 or 8 or 10 feet beyond that. So sure enough, I practiced this, so here we go. I went to swing my arms, and I jumped, and I reached as far as I could. I grabbed that rope, and I did not slide. And with my momentum, I swung toward the platform, and enough to touch the platform, but that's all. So I pushed back, And what did I do? I'm swinging back over all this water and all these friendly lights that are looking up at me. And here we go again. So I tried to pull in my core as I came forward and try to whip my feet. As I whipped my feet, I ended up landing with my feet on it, and I let go of that rope. And this 60-year-old has now completed one obstacle on American Ninja Warrior in 2017. It was quite the experience. And guess what? They have another obstacle in line for me. There are 6 obstacles that you get to face as long as you get to stay up on the obstacles. So it's time to look at the second one. I'll come back to a little bit more of my run here in just a couple minutes. I want to say thanks for having me. It's great that the committee has pulled all this together. 14 years. That's a long time, and a lot of people's lives that have been improved and changed. That is cool. When I ended up talking to Dr. Naughton, we were talking about, I'm sorry, looking for where she is. Okay. At a ninja gym during a competition, and she was sharing with me what was going on, the program and things. It's like, wow, to be associated with something that's focused on helping people become better and better. Absolutely, I am interested in finding out more information and seeing if I can come help, encourage, and challenge you guys. So that is really cool. I want to say thanks to Jenny Miller as well, who's been my #1 coordinator that I've interacted with for being here. And then I actually I'm a curiosity guy, so I'm going to ask a quick question here and see what you guys come up with. How many pounds do you guys think were lost last year in the program? You had to take a guess. Anybody have any idea how many pounds were lost based on the program? Well, I won't put you under too much pressure. I'll go ahead and reveal. It is the equivalent of 13 200-pound people being in this room, standing up and getting out and walking out of this room. It was 2,700 and a few more pounds that were lost last year through this program. So I would say let's give you guys a hand for a great job. So what a fantastic program, and it's really cool to get to be here. I don't know what your background is and how many of you even have a TV or know about something called American Ninja Warrior. So let's do a little survey. How many people have even heard of American Ninja Warrior and know what it is? Okay, good. So there's a few of you that have a sense of what this program is like. Well, 2017 was a special year for me. I ended up, I had a goal of writing some books as one of the things that I wanted to do to enhance my capabilities. So I wanted to end up writing about a passion topic, and guess what? Ninja Warrior was a passion topic. So I've now written 6 books that talk about my experience training as a ninja, come up with what I call 12 traits of a ninja, which is what I feel like I see all through the community on an ongoing basis, behaviors that ninjas live with that can be so powerful for life. Then I ended up, after writing that book, talking about training and everything, I ended up writing a book because I was in the walk-on line for 16 days in order to be able to compete in Cleveland. One of the things that one of the producers told me is, yeah, you're Michelle Warnky's dad, which maybe makes it even harder for you to compete because they've already got so much of Michelle that they don't necessarily need another Michelle family member. You might have a better shot of running if you actually weren't her dad. So I did the walk-on line, and I was in that group for 16 days, and so I wrote all about my really crazy experience of living in Cleveland when my house is in Columbus. Did that for 16 days with a bunch of 20-year-olds. And then the next book's all about my run, what it was like to actually run the course and everything that happened before, leading up to it, and after, because it was a crazy experience all the way to when the episode aired about 3 months later. So I've had fun being an author. I have told people repeatedly that I'm the dad of Michelle Warnky. But I'm no longer the dad of Michelle Warnky. How's that work? Michelle got married January 4th, just a couple of weeks ago, and she is no longer Michelle Warnky. She's now Michelle Burma. Probably on the show they'll refer to her as Michelle Warnky Burma or something, but I think technically she's actually become Michelle Burma. We're really excited for her. She, as many of you probably know if you're familiar with the show, was the second woman ever back in ANW 6 to complete the work wall and finish the qualifying course. I'm up there in the stands and I'm watching. It's cold. We're in St. Louis. It got rained out the night before, and it's like, oh man, this is just crazy. And Michelle's getting ready to run, so we're busy watching her, trying to stay warm. Anyway, she gets through that fifth obstacle. She's down to that work wall, and it's like, I have seen her do this work wall so many times back in our gym. I cannot wait for her to get there. So she gets to that work wall, and sure enough, she eyes that baby, and she takes off, and just like always, she cleared that wall like she always did with about 3/8 of an inch of her fingers with one hand. And then she pulled her other hand up and went to the top and hit the buzzer and celebrated. I'm jumping up and down and just going crazy. It's like, yes, my daughter, she did it. I knew she could. That was so cool. So I had to run down through the stands and run around the back and get over to where those ninjas were and give my daughter a hug and say, Michelle, Michelle, you did it, you did it. You're the first woman to ever get the work wall. That is so cool. As I'm hugging her, she goes, it was really cool, Dad. And I couldn't tell you, but 2 weeks ago in Dallas, Casey actually got the work wall first. So if you're familiar with American Ninja Warrior, they record all the episodes and then they start airing them months later. So all the stuff that happens, you don't necessarily know until you watch the show, and you sign your life away, and I think your wife's life away, and everything else that you will not say anything. So Michelle let me know that she was not the first, but it was so cool. Congratulations to Casey a couple weeks earlier. Congratulations to Michelle, and then Megan Marker ended up being the third one that did it. And the reality is all this first stuff, which is fun, but it boils down to what course did they assign you to and when did you get to run? Because Megan also made the wall. Now, I'm the dad, so I think it's okay for me to tell you that one of those women made it on their first attempt on the wall. And I was very, very happy and proud of that. So that was so cool. Last year, in Cincinnati, no woman in 5 years has been able to finish a finals course. Michelle ended up being the second woman. Later in the night, Jessie LeBret became the third woman. So both of them got it. What another fantastic night and a fantastic experience. For those of you that watch the show, sometimes there's featured like All-Stars and USA versus the World and other things that they show. I can't say a lot, but you might want to keep your eyes open for one of those specials. There's a chance that Michelle will be participating again before the season comes up. Things that were recorded at the end of last season will be here to see. So, very cool experience, unbelievable. It has kind of moved into our living room and taken center stage pretty much. And I didn't even know how to spell American Ninja Warrior about 8 years ago. It's like Carolyn and Michelle were watching what's it called? One of these crazy shows, you know? Anyway, I eventually started watching it, and then as soon as you start participating, it's like, I probably should go ahead and watch this. And I've definitely gotten hooked. Well, let me take you back. Incidentally, do we have a clock in here? We do have a clock. I got to make sure that I don't say too much here. For those of you that have given speeches in the past, I think I have 7 fantastic points to cover with you. And then when I timed it out, it's like, I think we're going to see if I can pull 3 of them off. Okay? So you're going to get 3 tonight that I hope to be able to convey for you. So the first one is that we talked about a grand prize that we've got for this program, the Grand Health Challenge. I'm here to tell you that I don't actually think that is the grand prize. It's a fantastic prize. $1,000, I think, to the team that loses the most. We've heard about people making 25 to 26 to 28% reductions in their weight. That is fantastic. But a prize that's money is a one-time prize. You go out and you go do something, and you buy something, and it's kind of a one-time prize. In my view, the real grand prize of this whole program is you becoming a stronger person as a whole that has the ability to do things that opens doors that you never had open before. You have people looking at you differently than they've ever looked at you, or at least in a long time maybe. And you just have a completely different outlook and level of confidence based on who you've become. Talks about focusing on yourself, developing yourself more than you do on your job. Because the key is when you improve yourself, it affects everything. In my view, the grand prize is you becoming a stronger individual that's got more self-discipline, that's got more energy, that's got more health, that's got better chance of longevity of life. All of those things. You want to talk about a grand prize, you are all eligible for that one. And in my mind, that's the grand prize. So I really want to encourage you to look at this. Strive for that $1,000. That would be fantastic. And I think, and if you want to include me, just let me know. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's not great. But the real grand prize boils down to who you can become through this program. And one of the ways that I like to look at it, it's probably kind of tough to measure if I've become a stronger person and a better person or not. Okay, it's like, okay, how do you do that, you know? Well, one of the ways you can do it is you can find something that you can measure. Well, weight is something that you can measure. So if you can actually look at weight reduction, it's like that's kind of a reflection on who you're becoming. Jim Rohn also talks about don't focus on what you're going to get from something. Focus on what it will make of you to go through that process or associate with the people that you're going to associate with. I heard a quote a few years ago that I really liked, and I think it ties in so closely to this point. And it says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And it's so simple, but it's so powerful. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you don't see the things that you're going to be doing differently, how you're going to make different choices, you're not going to lose the weight that you want to lose in this whole challenge. Things are going to have to change for you to change. And that's the part that's so exciting to me, is we need to look at the fact that we're going to become stronger people through this process. Okay, it's about time for me to report into my water person that I took another swig. Point number 2. Point number 2. Let's go back to the ninja course. Woo! I just finished the first obstacle and I'm on top of the world until I really scared down obstacle 2. I like swinging across things and jumping across things and all that kind of stuff. There's kind of one obstacle that's just, I couldn't figure out how fun fit into it. And it's called the rolling log. And it's one of these things that you get on, you put your leg over the top. There are little indents, so you're going to grab with everything you got. You're going to try to lock your legs, and guess what? Don't think too long, because as soon as your feet are off the back, it's going to start turning. So I got onto the rolling log. I didn't know how I was going to do on this thing, because it's a violent obstacle, and it whips you. I actually thought about this. It won't do it, I guess, maybe. I was going to actually have you guys just literally stand and turn around 8 times as fast as you can, which will be about an 8th as fast as I went around when I was on that log. So I got on that baby, I'm doing everything I can, my eyes are open, so I'm seeing kind of the world spin around my, all around my head as I continue to do everything I can. It's getting faster and faster and harder because it's on an angle, so it's rolling downhill. I held it, finally I ended up closing my eyes. It's like, I can't handle it. I'm doing everything I can to hold on, I can do it. And boom, it threw me off. And it was like, okay, I did everything I could to hold on as long as I could. And then smack! I hit the landing mat. I actually completed the obstacle. It wasn't because I strategically knew that right now is the time that I can go ahead and let go and I'll land exactly where I want. I simply held on as long as I could before it violently threw me off. And I happened to have, at 60, I was now probably 60 years old and another 3 minutes. Okay, so I was getting older as we go through this course. And my hair was probably turning grayer every time I faced the next obstacle. So, 2 down, the 3rd obstacle. Now, Ninja Warrior, oh man. You know what they put after something like a rolling log where your head is spinning? A balance obstacle. You get 20 feet if you get to run along a balance obstacle. So I landed on that mat, you know, I'm down there on the ground, I'm trying to slowly get myself up, and my head is kind of doing this still type thing. So I looked off to the audience, tried to make sure I was waving the right direction, let them know I made it. I got up, and then there's a mat to crawl up to the next platform, so I crawled up to the next platform, and that's where I could see Razor's Edge as I stood there and looked forward. So to try to help maintain my focus and my balance, I put my finger out, tried to hold it still. I think I actually did use the second hand, just trying to stop the head from spinning because it was so crazy. So Razor's Edge, anybody watch know what Razor's Edge is? Okay, a few people. So it's basically 3 panels. They're on a pole. The first panel is about 4 feet long, maybe 6 inches wide, and then there's about a 2-foot gap between them. So you literally have to run across 3 panels and then launch yourself and try to land on the pad on the end. That would be too easy. So American Ninja Warrior says, you know what? The first panel is going to start at an angle like this. So when you step on it and put it much any weight, it's going to start to turn because it's just on a pipe, okay? The second panel, let's make it this angle. And the third panel, let's make it that angle again. So I'm sitting here, my head's spinning. I am 20 feet away from finishing the 3rd obstacle. No 60-year-old has ever finished a 3rd obstacle on American Ninja Warrior. Woo! Can I do this? So I says to myself, I don't have the stride that these young guys do. I just don't stretch quite that well. So if I look at my stride, it's like I can hit that first panel with 1 foot pretty well, go as far as I can. Then I'm going to go as far as I can with my left foot. It's not going to get anywhere near the middle. So what that means, I'm going to have to come in with my right foot and hit that second one really fast. And the third one is over here and it's tilted this way. So I get to take this left one, bring it over, hit the one on the angle, and then try to lunge forward to get to the platform. Well, I understood my first step, my second step, and my third step. The fourth one is kind of like, I don't know how to do that. I just don't know. So it was time, again, the producers, time to go. You tried to get your bearings long enough, time to go. So I took off, I backed up, I put everything I had in it. Sure enough, boom, hit the first one right, hit the second one right, hit the third one right, hit the 4th potential step with the side of my leg right on that panel as it went down, and next thing you know, I can just see up into a dark sky. But in between me and the dark sky is about 4 feet of water. I'm actually laying on the bottom of the pool. It happened so fast. And I will tell you, in Cleveland, in May, at 10 o'clock at night, in 40-degree weather, that water is cold. So I ended up finally popping up out of the water. I did my fun waves to the audience, and I got out on the correct side of the producers once so you can get interviews and everything. But it was so crazy and so fast. As I reflect back on my experience there, one of the things that hits me is the point that I believe very strongly is that everything is created twice. I saw my first step. Guess what? I hit my first step. I saw my second step. I hit my second step. I saw my third step. I hit it. I had no clue about my 4th step. I hit it. I did exactly what my mind thought I was going to do. I was like, I'm clueless. How does this thing work? And I ended up going down. If you think about pretty much anything that we have that exists that's been created here, not from the beginning of creation, but as man has been going to work, everything is created twice. This school building, they didn't say, hey, we're going to put a school building up, somebody bring some 2x4s in and some hammers and just do your best, start pulling together. The idea of the school had to come into fruition first, and then how big is it going to be? How do we want it structured? How many classrooms do we want? They began to build this entire building the first time in their head, probably then again on paper, eventually in blueprints, and then eventually materials were shipped and they started to physically build the building. And then a long time after that, the building actually opened. Everything is created twice. As you look at this Grand Health Challenge that you're involved in now, participating in, the same is the case. You need to look at the goals that you set and see in your own mind, what does it look like for me to be at the weight that I'm going for? What will I be doing? What kind of clothes will I be wearing? What places will I be going? Maybe some places that are different than you go today. What does it look like for me to be in my end result? If I can't see it in my mind first, my chances of living it out in reality are tiny. They are tiny. So we need to create what we want it to look like now, tonight, if you haven't done so already. And one of the other key things that's really beneficial is to start identifying and seeing yourself doing the things that you need to be doing to look the way that you're going to see yourself looking. Whether that's walking by something that you currently stop and grab something and eat something, it might be seeing yourself measuring out the quantity of food that you're taking in at certain times. It may be seeing yourself starting on the couch and then saying, you know what, this doesn't work, this isn't the new me, this isn't going to get me my plan. Seeing yourself get up, and whether that's a walk around the neighborhood, doing jumping jacks, whatever it is, you need to be able to see those things happening before they will likely really become fruition. Everything is created twice, at least twice, and that includes where you're going with this health challenge. The third and final piece that I would like to share, go back to the beginning of my run on American Ninja Warrior. When I went over to that fence and I got these high fives and I got these hugs and I got a bunch of, you've got this, you can do this, it's all yours, you've got it, come on, you prepared, you've got this. You know what was happening? I was borrowing confidence. I was getting other people's confidence in me before I probably had that level of confidence in myself. The same happens here with this challenge. You're in teams. Don't let your teammates down. Let them know that you believe in them and that they got this, that they can do this, they can meet this challenge. Because it is so powerful. We need to have borrowed confidence. There's times that it's like, yeah, I think I can, but I just don't know. You need the people around you constantly. You've got this. I'm with you. You've got this. Do not let your team members down. There's two pieces to that. There's the external, which is what your teammates are going to do for you. And there's the internal. Who do you listen to in your head? Is it the person that says, oh, here we go again, this is too hard, you've never been able to do it in the past, and you're not going to do it, probably last 2 weeks, this time, and all that kind of just yuck. And what does that sound like? That is not a best friend supporting you and being with you. That's your worst enemy, your critic. It's like, cut them off. What you want to do is be in a place that you're actually talking to yourself and saying, I've got this. I do. I have a fantastic team around me. We're all doing this together, and I have got this. By the way, I'm becoming a better, stronger person, and yeah, it's going to be reflected in my weight loss. But I'm actually going to be a stronger, better person based on what I'm doing right now. So you've got this. As you go into this challenge, you absolutely have the capability to go for your goals and to meet them. And focus on becoming a stronger, better person. So in summary, first point, the real goal is to become a better, stronger person. It's going to be reflected in the weight. The second point is that everything is created twice. Make sure you're taking the time to create that end state now so that you can live that out and bring it to reality. And the third is you got this with your team, okay? You can absolutely do this. Thank you so much for your time. I actually have a